This one is disappointing. By now, you're undoubtedly aware that President Biden, former President Biden, has prostate cancer. They're suggesting that it is an aggressive form. They give different levels. Gleason score, they're talking about a 9 out of 10. The highest it can go is 10. I'll show you on the screen how they're classifying this, but out of a score of 1 to 10, I believe it is, Biden has a 9. It is that aggressive. It's already metastasized to his bones. But there's a conspiracy here. And I don't like this because as someone who leans sort of left, it does seem like there may be some validity to this, implicating Biden himself in this conspiracy. And I hate it because the guy could literally be on his deathbed. What the hell are we talking about? Check this out.
As doctors I talk to say that the concept that someone with the level of medical care that the President of the United States receives and the incredible scrutiny and focus on his health that exists, and at the same time, as you put up on the screen, a Gleason score of 9, group 5 with metastasis to the bone, that's something that takes years to happen in the body. It is normally prostate cancer is caught very early. There is going to be an enormous amount of focus, as there has been on the president's health and what was known about President Biden's health when he was in office. That is going to be magnified 5 or 10-fold starting tomorrow morning with questions of what did doctors know, when did they know it, what did the First Lady know, when did she know it, and what did Kamala Harris know, and when did she know it? And was this a case of sort of gross medical malpractice by the White House doctors to miss this? Or is this a case of the American public not being told something that would be very material?
This is sad. If Biden wanted to remain in power that much, that he would literally try to do it while keeping a prostate cancer diagnosis secret. Now, you hear the host and the guest talking, and I've heard this on many other networks at this point now as well, probably with the exception of maybe MSNBC, because they're that much in the tank for Biden. But even CNN has talked about this. The notion that if you are a male that has access to good health care and you get routine screenings and checkups, you don't get this far along on your first diagnosis. In other words, it takes time for this to evolve. And if you're getting regular checkups and blood tests drawn, this would be detected before it gets this far, before it's metastasized to your bones, etc., etc. Now, others might say, listen, the human body is unpredictable, and you can go from perfectly healthy to stage 4 overnight. I don't know. Listen, I'm no medical professional. I'm not going to confirm or deny any of this shit. But it does seem more likely that someone with the care of Biden would probably have caught this in the early stages and knew it was progressing. Looks like Biden, if you ask me, knew what he was going through but wanted to remain in power, wanted to present a confident image, and just chose to keep it quiet. Now, obviously, that's wrong on every level in terms of being transparent with the public. Obviously, Trump is going to pounce on this. You would only expect him to. That's how politics works. I will point out that Trump possibly could do some of this himself, and I'm not just reaching or speculating. Remember when he tested positive for COVID? And there's a picture of him leaving the White House where he wants to show that he's walking out on his own volition to Marine One. Turns out he was actually very sick at that point. They later admitted his oxygen levels had fell to the point where he was being recommended to be put on oxygen. But he too wanted to portray a picture of strength and walked out to Marine One on his own strength when they were demanding he use a wheelchair and possibly be on oxygen. So I'm not going to say Trump wouldn't do it as well, but Trump doesn't have cancer. At least we don't know that he does. So we can only assume Trump, but it looks like it's closer to a confirmation with President Biden. But what do you think? You think that Biden would want to stay in power to the point where he would do this? Obviously, if you lean right, you're going to answer with a respective hell yeah, because of his cognitive abilities, which were also declining, and he wanted to remain in power as well. Folks are already starting to ask, who the hell was running the country while Biden was president? I'm not that far along. I do believe that he still could have been running the country, albeit maybe not as effectively, while going through some of this shit. Just like there are plenty of elderly people who can continue running their household while dealing with all kinds of illnesses themselves. After all, you're surrounded by everyone that is specialists in their respective positions. All you really have to do is say yes or no to what they're telling you. Simple as that. If you're the president and a general says that Iran is developing nuclear reactors and a suggestion from the Joint Chiefs as we strike now, simple response. You either say yes, go ahead and do it, or you say no, we're going to hold off. It's as simple as that. You're taking your advice from the specialists and just giving them a yay or a nay. It's as simple as that. So he certainly could have still been running the country, but there is concern whether he was doing it effectively or not. But that is the question for the video. Do you believe Biden just received this prostate cancer diagnosis this far along where it's already metastasized to his bones when he told us? Or is it possible, as some suggest, that he was going through this for years, fighting it secretly and not telling the American people, not being transparent at all? What say you? Let your boy know in the comments. Do you think Biden would keep this secret? Wow. If so, this doesn't look good for Biden, not good on him, certainly giving Trump yet another jump up to continue attacking Trump. And before we close out, what are the chances that Trump, MAGA, and a lot of folks on the right will remain respective, considering that Biden is likely on his last days? Prognosis for this at a Gleason score of 9, 3-year prognosis, I heard some in the medical community say 33%. So there's a 33% chance he'll live 3 years with his prostate cancer that far along. Likely this man is on his deathbed. Will Trump and MAGA remain civil, respectful towards this guy, or will they take this time to suggest, well, he criticized us, so we're going to take revenge and criticize him even if he's dying? What do you think? Let your boy know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button. Subscribe to the damn channel. See you in the next video.
This with renowned urologist Dr. David Schusterman on the show, who said that this kind of aggressive cancer with a Gleason score of 9 takes 5 to 10 years to develop in his experience. He says only a man who is medically neglected wouldn't know about it. This is one of the least medically neglected men in the world. Leland, we did not get a PSA score on his health reports. We didn't get them on Trump's either, to be fair. What does it mean if this wasn't a new or sudden surprise diagnosis?